Hello, I'm George Gonzalez, and I'm obsessed with making games. And today we're going to go over VR tips for releasing your game, beta, open channels, free demos, and anything that you need to know about Meta Dashboard to help you with your release. Okay, the first two tips right off the bat that I would give you is one is always schedule your release early because release or approved does not mean release. Okay, that clear. Approved does not mean release. So you can get your app approved and not have it released. So you don't have to worry about that. A lot of people wait to be approved right before they release. You can get a decent build approved right away and then release your final version when you want to release it. You can schedule releases. So, and the second tip is get familiar with uploading to the dashboard. You don't have to wait till you're releasing to use this. Okay, there's a lot of good features, and it will help you have your game ready to ship a lot earlier than if you just wait till the end to get used to uploading. So this is something nice that I like about Meta, and this helped me as a developer. I've done games in Android and iOS. I've done it on Steam, and trust me, like mobile is a headache. Steam is nice, is similar features to Meta, or Meta has similar features to Steam, but they've done a good job. I think over the years they've improved it, and there's a lot of good features now. Let's go over. So let's start. The first thing you want to get used to is in here the distribution on the left, and you'll notice that they'll give you things to do. See, so submit for review. So the first thing you want to get used to is this distribution channel. This is your bread and butter for releasing. You have the builds, and the main thing I always go here, release channel. This is my go-to. I'm always here uploading builds to my game. If you have to figure out how to get here, developers.meta.com, and then you'll choose your business. You want to establish a business. You don't want to have it under your own name because then there's liability issues if you get sued. So another tip is create your own business. It's not that expensive, and yeah, so you should have at this point, if you're going to publish something, you should have a business entity, an LLC, it's just you, and then in here you're going to get used to this. You can, as you see, I've been uploading to here for a long time. Let me see. We can go in builds, and it'll show you the history. Ever since probably August, September, see, all year, I've been uploading and testing things in the alpha channel. So this is a good way to test your app, make sure it's working in your headset, like the install process, everything. I like doing this because I have authentications, and as you see other videos that I make, I use Meta authentication for the ID, and so that way I don't have to create typing for your name. So things that I don't like to do is UI, because I just want to get in and test it. And so grabbing the username from Meta is a good way to just streamline the whole process. People get log in, they have their username, done. You don't have to type it, you don't have to change it, you don't have to filter it. That's hours of work saved right there just from doing that. Okay, so if you have usernames and stuff, I wouldn't bother. Even after publishing, it's such a headache. Even multiplayer games, like having the ability to change your name is a nightmare. That's why I love getting used to the Meta dashboard, and things work where if you're in Unity, you can create in here a fake account, not a fake account, but like a test account, so that you could test it in Unity editor, so that all the features with authentication and username can still work in the editor. Even if you're testing. So this is a good thing because then you don't have to separate the code that goes to Meta and that's tested in the editor. You can just create that. And I'll do another video next week about how to do that specifically. But for now, we're focusing on release channels. Like, let's say you want to do a free demo or you want people to test your game. What are the different options? See, I have in here private. What if can you get it to public? You have email invite, URL. Let's talk about all those things so that you have the best tools to do what you want to do. So let's say the best option is if you want a free demo, Meta has a demo where you can launch a demo and then download a DLC for unlocking the options that you want. So you can do that in the submission. But for now, the main thing is I use these channels. So you have alpha, beta, and RC by default, and I think they have a max of 200 users that you can use. And what I do in here, when you click on the channel, you have settings. In here, you have change current build settings. So you can always update this or roll back to whichever build you want. In here in the settings, this is the main thing. Typically, you would go in here and email invites. If you wanted to invite people by email, so that's private, you could do that. That's set up, and then you can approve them, see pending requests, join requests, blocked users. You can do all this. But I typically don't like to deal with emails because sometimes what happens is emails don't get sent, or the email is not a Meta username, and so it's not registered. And so there's a lot of friction that happens with this email invite. But it's there if you want it. And in here, you can change it to automatic approval. You can do manual approval. You can send email notifications when there's an update to the channel. And then there's also a required channel members on the latest build. So this forces people to be on the latest build that you select on the channel. And this sends them a notification every time you update. If you do frequent updates, don't click this because it's annoying. But this is what I love to do. I love to say automatic approval, and then I have a URL. You hit save. If I move my guy, let me move myself. Oh, and here at the bottom, if I scroll down, there's save changes. So where the link won't. You have to click automatic approval. And then save changes. And then it will, hopefully, I didn't want to, and then you can change the URL. I don't want to change it because I already have it. And then you copy paste this and you can use that on your Discord. You can also create a QR code based on this URL, and you can take this to events. So this is good for when you do showcases for your game and people are like, oh, well, I want to join your Discord. You can do that. But I also want to get updates to this game. I want to play it. You can have a QR code based on this URL. And when people scan it with their phones, they can approve that. This is great for events. The other cool thing about this is that once they download your game, they have it in their library. They will always have access to this unless you change it. I can't show you because otherwise I would have displayed all their emails, and I don't want to do that in public. So anyways, just wanted to let you know that you can remove users pretty user friendly. Let's go in here. In this channel, I don't have anybody, so I can go in here and you can use this to remove people. But in here, see how it says grant URL automatic approval. You have to save it to get this to work. And now you can copy paste this. So you understand that if you have this, this is how it works. You have to save it before. Then you have the current build. You can always change the build, upload, and then you upload through the developer dashboard. But the main thing with this, the other thing is that you can also set it to public. As you can see in here, I can set it to available. And this is the last thing that I want to talk to you about, and that is public access. What does this mean? Okay, this means two things depending on where you're at. If your game's not released, and I learned this recently, is if your game's not released, this is public to anyone that's on another channel. So let's say you have people on this beta and alpha. So you have some people on alpha, some people on beta, or you have exclusive specific Kickstarter channels. And then you want to say, hey, everyone that's participated in previous betas can access this. Well, you can go in here and I can change the settings to public. And that means everyone that's opted in on other channels can, by default, switch to this version. And the way that happens is that they can do it through their phone by clicking on your game, again, because they downloaded your game, right? So they have in the game's page, either on the headset or on the phone, using the app, they can go to the game and go to settings and change the settings to the different version. And they can change to the RC channel by default. So they don't have to do anything. Okay, now, so this is cool if you have, if for some reason you want to give bigger access and you don't want to have them join another channel. You can just say, hey, there's a new section that you just change the version and you have access to this version as well. If for some reason you want that. Now, when you release the game, this public is the same thing. It's accessible to anyone that has your game, but because your game is accessible everywhere, let's say your game is free to play. If it's free to play, you can have like a public alpha. So if you want to do like multiplayer games and free to play titles is really good because oftentimes you want to stress test things. And so you say, hey, anyone that wants to play can play this alpha channel and we can stress test it. And there'll be a new build on Monday. We need everyone to test it. And so that makes it so even people that are not on your Discord might hop in and test a new build. People that know how to change settings or how to change the build will notice that there's a new build. Or you can send, again, if you send an email notification, anyone that is on that channel will get the notification. The other thing for paid titles, let's say you have a game that's $19.99, $20, whatever. It's a paid price, even if it's $5.99. You still have this. You're in the same boat. Anyone that's purchased this can now help with the public access to this. They can have access to this channel as well, and it's the same thing. So now you have people that bought the game say, hey, because you bought this game, you also have access to help us internally, and this is the build internal. You can call it internal if you're adding new builds. Once you release the game, you can add more channels. So this is locked until you release the game. Once you release the game, you have access to more channels. But then you can do that, create new channels for your own purposes and set them to public so that people that already bought the game can now change between versions and they can test it out and whatnot. So you could do that. You can name them so they can see the name of the channel so they can switch over. Let's deal with the app submission now. So with app submissions, you have the pricing, the release date, and all that. The main thing with the submission, I don't have most of it done. I still have things to do, but we went over the VRCs, and in here you have the pricing of your app. The other thing that you want to be aware of is the early access. If this is early access, you don't want to change the to full release by accident. But every time you want to change your page, your art, right, like the details of the app. Let me go over assets. So in here, you can change the art whenever you want. And when you publish the game, you can, if you need a new page with new art and new assets and whatnot, you need to do another submission. Okay, and then you have to submit for review again. But this time it's a lot easier because you can change the build. In here, you can just select the same build that you have uploaded. So you can use the same build and change the art only, and it will, if it passed before, it'll pass again, and it'll be a lot quicker. The first time you submit is the longest it will ever take to approve your app. The rest of the other times it's a lot easier, a lot faster, not easier, but faster. And you'll get used to it. But these two channels are the ones you want to get used to: the app submission and the release channel, because those are the go-to. Release channels for you to interact with the users, and your app submission for you to interact with Meta and make sure that your app is up to date on the storefront. And then you can have in here release app and unscheduled. So you can submit without actually publishing. Okay, so it won't get published by accident. Trust me. You have to either hit publish, and here when you go to the release channels, in here you change the build, and you have to have it approved. See that it hasn't been approved. So once it's approved, you can change it. But right now I can't. And then you submit, and that's how you do it. That's why I say release channel and app submissions are the two things that you want to be acquainted with and familiarize yourself, because that is what you're going to do all the time when you're updating and releasing and making sure everything's up to date. Then you can talk about analytics and other things that we can look at. But for now, that is it. If you want to do open beta, close alpha, demos, whatever it is, you can use these channels for demos too, and have it as a testing ground. But this is way better. If you have questions, let me know in the comments below. We can talk. Endgame Devs, I have a community where I help you with all these things. You have a question, you're stuck somewhere, you want to finish your game, but you're unsure about things or why things are delaying. That's why I'm created the community Endgame Devs to help you finish your games. So if you're serious about that, join us and get your game finished and do what you want to do. Become a developer, a full-time dev. We'll see ya in the next video.